Hi, I'm Veronica Lee. This is your weekly transformational forecast for the week of November 8th, 2021. It is a pretty intense week. It's been an intense couple of days. For me personally, I was very low-key, kept things quite simple, but I could feel the energy building, and I want to share with you a little bit about what it was that I was feeling, but also what we're moving into. So the energy was sort of this suppressive, I need to sort of stay put kind of energy for me. It's like a part of me might have wanted to, go out or do something and be a little bit more functional. And by that, I mean something as simple as grocery shopping. But there was that sort of stay put energy, and it was feeling a little bit heavy, let's say. What I'm seeing collectively is that we are moving through some really deep shadowy stuff, and that can make us feel somewhat suppressed, somewhat lethargic, and even maybe a little bit down or edgy. In particular, there might be some lower body, lower chakra energies that are moving, but lower body discomforts and some other areas that might find discomfort. So for example, anywhere in the back area is often indicating things in our past, and what we're trying to move through are a lot of our old traumas, old patterns, old shadowy stuff. It won't be necessarily, this week we'll get through it and it'll be over. As we know, this is a process of unfoldment and a process of healing. And yet this is one of those weeks where a lot is being processed. So just be patient. What I'm also seeing in terms of self-care is, if you can, gentleness. I often offer that up. And ease, like try to ease up on your schedule, ease up on expectations for self, ease up on how you might interact with and treat others. So really thinking of it in terms of this broad stroke of ease. And then the other piece is around, body care. And I don't mean, pushing yourself, going to the gym, making yourself do stuff, but more or less, what is it that my body is really needing? It could be that what it needs is more rest. It could need more nourishment in so many different ways, whether it's food that is specific to what your needs are, or whether that nourishment is more hugs, or whether it is more gentleness in terms of movement rather than jarring movements. And I'm also seeing this importance right now of warmth. For many of us, we are moving into fall and into winter, and with that becomes the cooler air, obviously. But if what we're finding is that we're feeling like we're not getting warm enough, there are ways to increase that warmth, and it could be through literally putting on extra socks, turning up the heat a bit, using hot water bottles on maybe uncomfortable areas. And it can also be by eating warm foods, drinking warm teas and such. So again, just a lot going on. Expect, this sense of pressure, but you don't have to necessarily succumb to whatever is going on, but rather soften into that and tune into what are my needs. The other thing I do want to say about this shadowy stuff moving through is that it does happen oftentimes on a very unconscious level. So we don't necessarily have to go in there and pick apart what we're processing necessarily, but we could have a broad stroke awareness about it. So it might be that we are noticing some patterns that are coming up, and we can just sit with those patterns and be uncomfortable in those patterns and know that they are being worked through. The process is pretty intense, and it's also quite quick. So the idea is to be kind and patient and gentle and nourishing with yourself. And hopefully you'll get through the week with as much grace as possible. And I will see you next week.